It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Newell, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the interviews from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, tonight's one of those nights. Tonight we're back to recap The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 14, because it's getting so good. Before we do though, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, make sure you like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell because that's how you can follow everything that we're doing. Oh yeah guys, and I just want to apologize because all of you know that I'm moving right now and my furniture arrives tomorrow. So I'm kind of in this little weird chamber thing with no furniture, but it is what it is and I can't leave you guys hanging because we all love Potomac. So let's jump right in. Alright guys, so we kick off the episode ring shopping. Giselle's ring shopping with Juan and it looks like he's really about to finally pull the trigger. He's going to propose again to Robin. I have my own opinions though, because I felt super bad in this scene only because he invites Giselle knowing that Giselle is Robin's best friend and they're kind of ride or die. He also knows that by including Giselle, he's keeping Robin on the show because that's really her only way of staying on the show, right? Is to continue this marriage storyline or make sure that she has Giselle on her side. So Juan invites Giselle to go ring shopping and she has some expensive taste. When she starts asking around about what, kind of rings or whatever, she says Morganite and she's looking in double digits. Now, Juan had obviously a different idea. He was thinking $8,000 to $10,000 and immediately when she looked at the $50,000, $60,000 ring and she found out his real budget, she was like, what's going on? I kind of felt bad for Juan in this instance because we obviously know that they had money at one point in their life and this is probably embarrassing, especially to do on national television. But what I don't understand is why would Giselle kind of make the face that she made and even put him on the spot like that, knowing that her friend has IRS tax problems. If Robin has tax issues, they obviously are a family, which means they both have money issues, or at least that's how it works in my family. If you are in financial woes, then your spouse is in financial woes. So with Giselle knowing that about Robin, I don't see why she reacted the way she did, but it's okay, Giselle. We're watching you because you have your own issues with Jamal, and I'm sure those are going to play out too. But with that being said, let's move on to Monique because Monique is setting up for her Not for Lazy Moms podcast. She's going to do a live podcast with an audience and she wants all of the women to come because this podcast is about redefining yourself. And obviously, since her and Candace just got into this big altercation that is now being pursued legally, she has to backtrack a little bit. She has to kind of save face. Now, Monique is saying that she feels bad and that she wants to prove to the women that she's trying to change. So she goes around and she starts calling the women to see if they can show up. She calls Ashley. Ashley's down. Karen's going to show up, but she doesn't. Robin has to think about it, and Dr. Wendy Osefo simply says she cannot stand behind Monique, especially when she stood right there and said, or technically sat right there and said that she wasn't remorseful for what she did at the time. But since Karen's down to go, let's talk about Karen for a second, because in Karen's storyline, we see that her and Ray are still dealing with their marriage issues. After 23 years of marriage, they end up going to see a therapist, someone that's not Karen's radio host friend, and someone who will hopefully help them kind of navigate what's going on at this point in time, right? But it kind of sounds selfish what Ray's saying. Ray pretty much said that, it flipped, like the roles reversed pretty much, that she went from being Ray Huger's wife to Ray becoming Karen's husband. And you saw Karen's face. She was like, well, and obviously she has success now. So I think he shouldn't be really upset about that. He should be pushing it. But obviously this is a huge blow to his ego. Now, Karen put him on the spot when she said, I think we should address the tax issues too, because I helped you out of the hole and you never said thank you. Karen says that she paid for half of those bills and really helped Ray and stood by him as a warrior and as his woman, as his wife. And she didn't go running when she could have. She was right there and she didn't get a thank you. Now, when Ray says, I don't want to kind of live in that space, or it's not a good space to be in, whatever, the therapist makes sense because she says it doesn't mean that you can't address it now just because it wasn't comfortable. You can still say, I'm sorry, move forward, and try to navigate that. I thought that was really interesting. To be honest with you guys, I know that I'm pretty hard on Karen all the time, but I started liking Karen after this because it just shows that she's coming up. You know, she has her own issues, and a lot of people think that this is where I'm conflicted, because a lot of people think that this marriage storyline is just a fake storyline in order to secure her spot on the show, because what else is really going on in her life? And if you guys say La Dame, I'm done, I'm out. Almost like the same thing with Robin, though. Everyone feels like Robin and Juan in this whole marriage thing, this is just a thing that is trying to secure her on the show. And at this point, I think we're done. Well, at least I am with that storyline. So moving on to Wendy. Wendy is doing a Wine with Wendy wine event where she addresses politics and some of the hard conversations. So obviously Dr. Wendy wants the women to be there. Everybody except Monique. So she makes the calls, invites the women. Giselle's coming, invites Candace, and then she checks in on Candace. Now when she checks in on Candace, Candace goes to tell Dr. Wendy Osefo that she's not doing that great and she still has many panic attacks. She's always kind of stressing and scared about what's going to happen next, and she's not in a good space right now. Now, a lot of the people are commenting that they feel like Candace is really playing this up for the cameras and that it's really not that bad. Now, I've never been assaulted on the face like that or grabbed across the table, so I don't know. I can't speak up for that part of it, but we all know it's wrong. Panic attacks, this is obviously for Candace, from what she's telling us, this is bad. Some people don't believe her. This is rough. Speaking of somebody that most people don't believe, let's talk about Jamal and Giselle really quick, because Giselle picks up Jamal from the girls' school. So Jamal actually, I have to say, what a great dad, for the fact that if it has anything to do with his daughters academically, he flies in from Atlanta just to come up and be a part of it. And I think that's amazing. I mean, the fact that he goes back and forth like that just to be a part of the girls' education, I think that that's really admirable. Well, when he gets in the car with Giselle, Giselle has the tough conversation with him about, what are we doing now? This is long distance and it's okay, but actually, no, it's not. It's not okay. And I want to talk about it. Jamal took it well. And Jamal pretty much said, I haven't been wanting to press you. You're a different woman now. I'm a different man and you're growing. I just wanted to have that conversation whenever you were ready. But don't ever just assume about how I'm feeling. But honestly, the whole time the guy was talking, I felt like he was talking in circles, and I didn't really take a whole lot away from it. Giselle was smiling, though. She feels like she made a step in the right direction, and she got something from that conversation. But what she got from it, I have no clue. I wish I knew, because I didn't take away anything from that. Let's take it back to Monique for a second, because Monique's live podcast, Ashley showed up. Ashley's making an effort to be there for Monique and trying to understand where Monique is coming from, or how she's trying to progress and move past this Candace thing. She doesn't want to leave Monique like the rest of the women have and just kind of abandon her. Well, except for Karen, because Karen, we really don't know where she stands at this point. But she actually shows up, Ashley does, to Monique's event, and I thought it was great. What I didn't think was good, though, was Monique had a panelist on, and I would have cringed if I would have been in this moment. But Monique had a panelist on who said, how do you want to do this? Monique said, the only thing I don't want to talk about is the altercation. Let's just leave that out. What is the first thing that this woman does? She brings up the altercation. Because, of course, she wants to ask the question that's going to get the eyes on her. You can totally see Monique's face, and she's like, and when she said, what is the status or whatever of yours and Candace's relationship, Monique just said, pray for us. But obviously this woman did not see the fight with Monique and Candace, because if she did, she probably would not be trying Monique like this, especially when Monique just said not to do that. Let's fast forward through this episode a little bit, though. Robin addresses her taxes with her parents. Juan asks Gigi and Pop-Pop if he can have Robin's hand in marriage for a second time. The parents say that they need to hopefully move past their disagreements or whatever the case is. Let's keep fast forwarding. And voila, now we're at Dr. Wendy's event. This is the part which was the best part of the night. Dr. Wendy's live event, Wine with Wendy. This was good. Not only is Dr. Wendy Osefo insanely intelligent, she's so educated, and the way she speaks, I could listen to her all day. I'm a huge fan, and I know a lot of you guys rip on me for that, but I'm a huge fan of Dr. Wendy Osefo. But her event was also great. Candace thought this would be a good moment, and she did address Dr. Wendy Osefo on the phone and say, not address, but said pretty much, I'm going to be addressing Karen at your event. And Dr. Wendy Osefo said, okay. So that's exactly what she did. Candace pulls Karen aside and she says, hey, listen, I'm kind of having some problems here because you're being a little bit of a flip-flopper. And Karen wasn't having it. Karen's like, no. That is not what's going on. And actually, Candace, I've been in your corner for a long time. I was in your corner last year and this year. Just because you're going through this, I can be in your corner, but also Monique is my friend too. So I'm not going to pick sides, and you're asking me to pick sides, and that's very immature and childish of you because I understand that what happened to you was wrong, but also this is my friend too. So you're asking me to pick a side. I'm not going to pick a side. Again, this was a moment that I really liked watching Karen. For Ashley Darby, her excuse for backing Monique is because last year when all of this stuff was going on with the infamous butt grab and all of this happened at Monique and Chris's house, Monique and Chris could have easily added to the narrative, right? They could have pushed the story and made it even worse. Kind of. I mean, how much worse could that have gotten? But this is how Ashley feels. So this is why Ashley's not going to be quick to jump on the bandwagon to ban Monique, right? But for the women, they think that that's just an excuse. For Karen, though, she honestly believes that there's something medically wrong with Monique. And she feels like that's the reason that Monique lashed out the way she did. Now, if that's true, then that, in Karen's eyes, justifies everything. But for Dr. Wendy Osefo, she's saying, nope, this isn't medical and you can't use that as an excuse. But I do have to say, again, I love Dr. Wendy Osefo and I like that she interjected into the conversation and she elevated it, made it better for ratings because it got heated, right? But Karen still was not backing down. She was like, you're trying to push me in a corner and make me pick a side, and I'm not picking a side. The more Dr. Wendy keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, Karen said, you know what? I'm sorry. As intelligent of a woman as you are, Wendy, right now you're being extremely ignorant. And you can totally see Wendy's face go like this, Candace's face go like this. But Karen immediately said, I'm not going to do this right now. We don't need to do that. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. And she apologized right away. She just said, I am not going to be pushed in a corner, and you guys aren't going to tell me how I'm going to think or feel because I'm a grown woman and you don't pay my bills. Candace, of course, loved the fact that Dr. Wendy Osefo came to her defense because as they're walking back up the stairs to the event, she's like, thank you, you're a real BITC, but just like as a, yes, thanks girl. But two things here. One, what peacock did Candace kill to get those on the back of her shoes? Go back and watch that. And two, Robin, that wig, burn that wig. That was so bad. All right, guys, that was the end of the episode. And from what we know coming up, obviously there's a lot to be addressed, and the women are going to Portugal. Monique is countersuing Candace, and Candace came out with the statement, F that rusty ASSB. This is about to get really ugly, guys. So stick with us. We're going to stick on the lives, the pre-records for those of you who don't want to be a part of the live discussion. But regardless, if you haven't already, make sure you like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you guys don't miss anything and we can keep doing this. I love you guys, except for you, Jolene, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Wish me luck getting my furniture. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching Up and Adam.